because of sacrifices that someone take us to somewhere to do, that is why we are facing issues. Please watch this.
Yes,
Watch this.
yes, sir.
Look up to me. Watch this. This is an altar of God. Any day we start killing fowl and cow, goats to appease this altar, the Spirit of God will disappear here.
Yes, sir.
The Spirit of God will no longer operate here. That means it is now the spirit of the land that will start operating here.
Yes, sir.
No matter how we call the name of Jesus, they will not appear here.
Sure.
It will now be the spirit of the forefathers, the spirit of the altars of our forefathers that we are killing those animals for. They are now going to be the one coming to take sacrifices.
Yes, sir.
This is the reason why so many people are facing challenges in life. Please watch me again.
I'm here, sir.
Watch me again. When anybody collects goat, sheep, cow, fowl from you and do any sacrifice on your behalf, what they did is what? Inviting spirits to take over in your life. Commanding other spirits to take charge over your life. When once you are deposited, your sacrifices are deposited to a negative altar, what they simply did is what? Committing you, transferring your certificate, your biography from the altar of God to the altar and deity of those things they are committing your sacrifices to.
Yes, sir.
And that is why sometimes things began to change in our lives. Things began to go hard because the spirit that used to control your life before, which is the Spirit of God, is no longer in control. They have initiated you into another altar. Another spirit is now in control.
Yes, sir.
And they must welcome you first to their kingdom.
I hear.
Please, sir, be careful, be mindful on the things you are pushed to do. A wise man will not allow himself to be misdirected.
Yes, sir.
Be guided. In the Old Testament, even in the olden days, our forefathers do not have knowledge such as we have today.
Yes, sir.
They do not have the same teachings such as we have today. Therefore, the way they live their life is the way they were being taught.
Sure.
That period. For instance, you will go to somewhere now and they will tell you that it is your dead mother that is doing you. That your mother is not happy with you. That since she died, you have not come to appease her spirit. And you will now travel to the village. Go to the grave of your mother. And you start crying. Mama, what did I do to you? You now pour kai or pour wine there. They will give you nkwenu. Pame. You will use and pray and pour wine there. And break kola nut and throw. Ndiche. Bianu weroj. Bian taroj. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. And give unto God what belongs to God.
Yes, sir.
That is not the meaning, no.
Yes, sir.
I've seen a lot of pastors and reverends misquote this particular portion. That is not what it means. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. That is not what it means.
Yes, sir.
What it meant, when was the statement made and why was the statement made? The statement was made when they asked Jesus for tax. Does tax belong to the tradition? No. Tax belongs to government.
Yes, sir.
What it means is this. Respect government.
Sure.
You are driving now, police say park, you say for what? You are disobeying government. Whatever that happens to you, you offended the law. Obey the law of the land. They say don't come out in the night. You say for what? That is what it means. Obey the law. Give unto law whatever that belongs to the law, so that you will not be attacked by the law.
Yes, sir.
That is what it means. Give to Caesar. Caesar is in the government that period. They brought the coins that they brought out from the fish, and Jesus said, whose head do they draw on this?
Yes, sir.
And they said it is the head of Caesar. He said, therefore, give unto Caesar, the head of the government.
Yes, sir.
Give what belongs to Caesar to Caesar.
Yes, sir.
That means use it and go and pay tax for me. Give unto, go and pay tax for me. Tax belongs to government. Caesar is in government at that moment.
I hear, sir.
Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Caesar is the president, and he's in charge of tax. He's the one asking for tax. Tax is to the government, not to the tradition.
Yes, sir. And they asked him, saying, Master, we know that thou sayest and teachest rightly. Neither acceptest thou the person of any, but teachest the way of God truly. Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar or not?
Is it lawful for us? Was Caesar a native doctor?
No, sir.
Was Caesar a traditionalist?
No, sir.
Caesar was the president of a country,
Yes,
the
sir.
king of a nation.
Yes, sir.
He therefore said, they asked him, is it lawful for us to give unto Caesar what he is asking from us? These are disciples.
Yes, sir.
Trying to find out, should we also follow the rules of the government?
I hear, sir.
Or is your own rule different from the rule of the government? Because you are raising a new kingdom, should we abolish the kingdom of Caesar, which is the state,
Yes,
the
sir.
nation?
I hear.
And Jesus said no.
Show me a penny.
Bring that penny. That tax they are asking from him.
Yes,
bring
sir.
it.
Whose image and subscription had it?
And when they brought it, he looked at it and he asked them a question. Whose image is on this money?
And they answered and
And
said,
they answered and said,
Caesar's.
it is the head of Caesar.
And he said unto them,
And he said unto them,
Render therefore
obey the law.
unto Caesar
You,
the things which are
disciples
Caesar's.
that follow me, despite the fact that I am leading you towards another kingdom, obey the law of the land.
Yes, sir.
Obey whatever they tell you to obey.
I hear, sir.
If they say no movement, stop.
Yes, sir.
If they say movement, start.
Yes, sir.
Don't say because you are a Christian, you violate the law of the land.
I hear you, sir.
Don't say because you preach the gospel. A lot of people will go and make open crusade in London, and police will arrest them. And they will be making noise. In as much as you come to a country, obey the law of the land.
Yes, sir.
Obey the law. Apostle Paul said that if I go to Rome, I behave like Romans.
Sure.
When I leave Rome, I go to Ephesus, I behave like Ephesians. That means I will study their land, what they do, their government. I will not disobey.
Yes, sir.
Apostle Paul is a magistrate.
Yes, sir.
He's a lawyer, a big one indeed. But whenever he gets to any country, he obey whatever they do. But that will not contradict his faith. A pastor will now tell you, your dead mother, your dead father, go and appease his spirit. He's not happy. See, it is only God that if he's not happy with you, you are gone.
Now, so.
A dead person, if then they see road, they think well. They know what they go through. Make them go fight for you. Make things stay okay for you.
I hear you, sir.
Hello?
Right on, sir.
That your mama, she no know say you no get money to buy fowl. She no know how many times they have ejected you in a house. If dead people they see, then go see what they go through.
Nah, so.
And they must have done something to save that situation.
Say it again,
Your
sir.
mama like you so much. They wouldn't have allowed you to go through these pains.
Confirm.
They would have done something to see you through.
Yes, sir.
In this situation.
Nah, so.
So don't patronize anybody again. saying that you want to go and appease the dead.
Yes, sir.
Jesus said, allow the dead to bury themselves. The dead are in the dead world.
Yes, sir.
They are no longer in the physical world.
Now, so
Let your sacrifices no longer go to the Genesis 18. Let's rush from verse 1.
and the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mer.
And the Lord God appeared unto who? Abraham.
In the plains of Mer, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day.
Abraham was sitting in the front of his house under an oak tree.
Yes, sir.
Because there was heat.
Yes, sir.
The sun was so much. And the Bible said,
and he lifted up his eyes and
when
looked.
he lifted up his eyes
And looked.
He looked.
And lo,
and he saw
3 men stood by him.
3 men coming towards his way.
And when he saw them,
and when Abraham saw them,
he ran to meet them from the tent
he
door.
ran to meet them from the tent door.
And bowed himself toward the ground.
And bowed himself towards the ground.
And said,
and he said,
my Lord,
my Lord,
if now I have found favor in thy sight,
if now I have found favor in thy sight,
pass not away.
Pass not away.
I pray thee.
I pray thee.
From thy servant.
From thy servant.
Let a little water.
Let there be a little water.
I pray you.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
He said, let there be a little water. That means water also can be sacrificed.
Yes, sir.
I am going somewhere.
I hear.
Go ahead.
Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched. And wash your feet. And rest yourselves under the tree.
This is pure service.
Confirm.
The first sacrifices is gone. The second sacrifice is still invoked.
Yes, sir.
The first method of sacrifice is the method of the sacrifice of animals. The second sacrifice is the service that you rendered unto God.
Yes, sir.
Please, I leave the first sacrifice. I want to teach about the second sacrifice.
I hear, sir.
The first sacrifice is gone, which is the killing of animals and human beings.
Yes, sir.
In the Old Testament, they also use human beings to make sacrifices.
Yes, sir.
Then, in the New Testament, the killing of animals and human beings was totally abolished.
Yes, sir.
I want to say this.
Right on, sir.
The only sacrifice you can give to God to please Him is your service.
Yes, sir.
Your commitment, your faith to God. Read again.
And I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort ye your heart.
If I wash your feet, I will make bread for you.
Yes, sir.
Please, sir. Please, ma. I want you to watch this. Watch me. If you have never been in a particular situation and the Spirit minister to you, go and make out a sacrifice, make an offer, put off something for this matter to go. Learn it from today. I want you to know that here we practice faith. We believe in faith, and God established other things for us.
Yes, sir.
Anchor whatever you do on faith and see how God prospers you.
Yes, sir.
At the beginning of this month, I said, make sacrifices every day.
Yes, sir.
Give out something every day till the end of this year and see how you will prosper.
Yes, sir.
I don't think people have been obeying this. See, the Bible said, obey the Lord thy God, and it shall be well with you.
Yes, sir.
And now he said, obey your prophets, and you will prosper.
Sure.
Prosperity comes in obedience to your prophets.
I hear you, sir.
When I made that statement, some persons did it immediately,
yes,
and they
sir.
began to see the results.
Confirm.
You are where you are today because you have not made any sacrifice. Hear this.
I hear.
The world is not all about what you come to take.
Yes, sir.
No. The world is all about what you come to offer. People will not respect you when you are only a taker.
Yes, sir.
People respect you when you are a giver.
I hear, sir.
You have drunkards in your family. People who drinks. If you have them in your family, how do you respect drunkards? But if there is any brother that made it in your family, how do you respect him? There are people that are well recognized. The world is not all about what you can take.
Yes, sir.
The world is all about what you can offer.
Confirm.
When you don't put anything on the table, forget about respect.
I hear you, sir.
But when you put things on the table, people honors you.
Confirm.
When you mess, people will say, that aroma is very nice.
I hear.
Yes. Now hear this. Hear this. No. In your office, make your oga mess. May you tell and say, oga, why you mess? You are leaving office that day.
Not so.
Oga know the mess. Have you ever seen where celebrities they shit? They know they shit. Governors they shit. You don't see them. They know they shit. Now you they shit. No, go mess for where governor they. Whether if they no go. Koboko go land for your body where.
Not so.
Please watch this.
I hear, sir.
It is not all about who you are. It is all about what you have.
Yes, sir.
It is what you have that makes you who you are.
Confirm.
Please, sir. I want to tell you this.
Right on, sir.
I have checked the Bible. I discovered that the people that made names in the Bible are those who made the highest sacrifices.
Confirm.
I can defend what I am saying.
Very correct, sir.
Abraham saw. Let it be that a time will come in your life that the Spirit of God will minister to you. Help this person. Change this person's garment. Change this person's shoe. This person that complain about house rent, this may be an open door for you. Sir, there is no type of door that sacrifices does not open.
I hear you, sir.
Whether bad doors and good doors,
Confirm.
sacrifices opens them.
Absolutely correct.
The fastest way to answer prayers is sacrifice.
Yes, sir.
What somebody may fast for 2 years and still did not get it. Somebody with a sacrifice can get it under 2 days.
Confirm.
When the first world was annulled with water, it has to be reinstated by a sacrifice.
Yes, sir.
The moment the ark of Noah landed on the ground after many days, The first thing that Noah did was what?
Sacrifice. I hear, sir.
For the two first twins that came into this world, for them to succeed in life, they had to present themselves a day for sacrifice. For anything to start happening in your life, there must be a sacrifice.
Yes, sir.
If sacrifices are related to blood, anything you are giving out to God as your service must also be related to your blood.
Yes, sir.
What do I mean? If it is not painful, it is not gainful.
Confirm.
Don't give out anything and you feel that you have given out sacrifice. Jesus. God does not take anything anyhow.
Not so.
Hear this.
I hear.
God does not take anything anyhow.
Sure.
Because it is a sacrifice that you want to give to God. That means you want to give him anything. It doesn't work that way.
Yes, sir.
Read the book of Genesis chapter number 4. The first twins, they offered sacrifice. The Bible said Cain brought rotten fruits of the ground.
Jesus.
And you know at that moment the ground had been cursed. It had not been redeemed.
Yes, sir.
And then he brought a fruit from the ground and offered it unto God.
Jesus.
But Abel refused to bring the same fruit. He went to bring an animal, the fattest of the animals. And he said, this is not from the ground. This is from the blood. And as he killed that animal, the Bible said that God had respect
until his sacrifice.
Underline that word.
Yes, sir.
Your prayers does not have any respect because no sacrifice backed it up.
Sure.
Your deliverance do not have any respect because there was no backup of sacrifice. Sacrifice is that thing that gives you burden before you give it up.
Yes,
For
sir.
instance, some people may do business and have it in their mind that they want to pay a tithe. But because of the challenge of house rent, they want to remove the tithe and pay house rent first. They want to gather everything. Let me gather and gather. The more you gather, the more you keep gathering. And there will not be a time that gathering will be enough.
Jesus.
Sacrifices makes a way for you where there is no way.
Yes, sir.
Before the children of Israel could leave Egypt, God had to demand for a sacrifice.
Sure.
He said to Moses, kill a ram. And ask every children of Israel, anywhere they are, each family should kill a ram.
Yes, sir.
And use the blood to mark a sign on their doorpost.
Sure.
So that if I comes, I will know that this is the blood of my covenant with the children of Israel.
I hear.
God had a respect for the blood. Anytime you make a painful sacrifice to God, God makes a way. God stands up on his throne to fulfill his promise.
Yes, sir.
Abraham said, don't pass. At the end of this story, I will shock you with something. Abraham said, don't pass me. Wait. Let me wash your feet. Whose feet? The feet of an angel of God. Who are you to see an angel? Who are you to survive it when an angel sees you face to face? But the Bible said this young man had an opportunity to meet with angels. Sat with angels. I want to ask a question.
Right on, sir.
If you see one angel now, will you understand it? Will you perceive in your heart that this is an angel? Will you respect yourself? Will you not mess yourself up? He said, my Lord. Who told him they were lords? Many of you have been here for years, but you still do not believe in your pastor. No verse. Many of you have been here for years. Ask them for a particular thing, they will say, oh, I know where to get it. Do you know that so many of us here today that still believe if matters get worse, I will go to a shrine of our village. I know how to get it. I will go and pay sacrifice and make some things. I know who to call. I know the Nwadibia. I know the Ezemo that I will call. Nobody serves two masters at the same time and survives it.
Not so.
And Abraham rushed and told Sarah, prepare. We have visitors.
Yes, sir.
Little do they know that those visitors had also branched to bless their life. If you ask me, I will tell you, sir, they were not on a mission to bless Abraham's house.
No, sir.
Oh, Abraham, you would have still waited for another 20 years if not because of sacrifice.
Yes, sir.
Ha. I don't think you are understanding what I am understanding.
Right on, sir.
Abraham wouldn't have received what he received that year
if
not because of the sacrifice he made to those angels. Hear this, sir.
I hear.
There is no door that sacrifices cannot open.
Confirm.
Abraham went in, helped Sarah, and prepared garnished food. While Sarah was busy preparing, brought water, an old man. He was older than those young angels. Sir, your sacrifices does not respect your age.
I hear, sir.
Remove your age. Your services to God does not respect your age.
Yes, sir.
You can never be older than God.
I hear.
There are people here, their age makes them to behave so naughty. No vex. If they want to talk to you, they talk to you rudely because they senior you.
Confirm.
If they want to approach you, they shuns you because they senior you. There are people who are so fond of that age. You know, no say you be small girl, you be small boy. Who are you? Who be you? Who be your papa? I know of the people that was so big and so rich then in the village. Today they are poor.
Not so.
We that was poor then, where God is making waves for us.
I hear.
Go and check it. The richest people in your village then is the poorest person now.
Not so.
And then the poorest persons in the village that time is now the richest. Go and check it. So don't make noise because you have gotten just Lexus 330. One day that Lexus 330 will be like Volkswagen that is forgotten today.
Not so.
Do you know that those people that built one-story building then in the village, they are like people who is living in a mud house now?
Not so.
Because buildings are being casted. Better houses are now standing, surrounding them.
Yes, sir.
Hear this, sir.
I hear.
Let your services to God not be accompanied by pride.
Yes, sir.
Let your services, let your honor to God not be equipped with pride. Humble yourself.
Yes, sir.
Look at this young man's age. Yet, the angels brought out their foot. He washed it. If it is here today, a small woman tell an older woman, please cut my nails. The woman will look and finish and say, God go punish you. You know, respect your old age. I am telling you, age is only but a number.
Confirm.
Use that old age to serve God.
Yes, sir.
What we mean by serving God is serving others. When you cannot serve others, you cannot serve God.
Right on, sir.
If you cannot serve the people you see, you can never serve the God you cannot see.
Yes, sir.
You don't see God.
Confirm.
Stop pretending that all your services is to God. God means that your services should go through Him. Should go through men to Him.
I hear.
If your services do not go through men, it will never get to God.
Yes, sir.
Who are you helping? Who are you changing their life? Who are you putting smiles on their face?
Jesus.
Who are you making to have hope again in life?
Jesus.
Who are you putting forth hope again in their life? Who do you put food on their tables and you are not complaining about it? You are not controlling their lives because you are putting food on their table. Jesus. Hey, I do not mean those that will put food on people's table and yet they will go and print it on Punch newspaper. Yes. You see the person that you bought clothes for last week wearing the same cloth. You touch 7 persons and you tell them that you are the one who bought that cloth.
Not so.
That is not sacrifice.
Sure.
You are taking the glory.
Yes, sir.
Instead of God taking the glory. Who have you touched their life?
Jesus.
I want you to know, sir, ma, that little business you started, God kept it that way because you have not used it to render any service to God. Jesus. That little money you got is not increasing. Rather, problems are taking over because you have not used that money to serve God. Yes, you know get money, you should get time.
Not so.
You know get time, you should get service.
I hear.
You know hear wetin I talk.
Right on, sir.
You know get money, get time.
Not so.
I want you to know there are people whose shoulder church is laid upon. There is no church that you come today that the weight of that church does not rest on someone's shoulder.
Not so.
I want to ask a question.
Right on, sir.
If this church is laying on shoulders, whose shoulder? Are you among? How? I want to ask a question.
Go ahead, sir.
Sacrifices to God. As you know today that it is no more killing of animals, but services to God. What then will you render to God? The books that Bishop Oyedepo used to write, he does not know how they start it and how they end it. They only send the script for him to proofread. After proofreading, after reviewing it, he will now give corrections and then send it back. They go and print it. He does not know who writes them, just that he has an education board. He does not know how it is printed. He does not know how much it costs. The only thing is that people are taking care of it. The transportation system in that place, some people are there. Their toilets, some people are there. Their security, some people are there. Paying securities, inviting people, making sure that orderliness is kept. You get voice. You know the tone of voice. You know who gets better voice and who gets bad voice. Anybody that sings wrongly, you attack the person. But you will get golden voice. You cannot come out and sing. You are that wicked devil that is against it. The church is not leaning on you. Rather, you are the one scattering the pillar. The ones that have come to carry the church. You are the ones scattering it.
I hear, sir.
You cannot lay down sacrifices. But the sacrifices they lay, you eat it. I want to assure you today, sir, Abraham was not supposed to be blessed that day.
I hear, sir.
But because of sacrifice, his blessing was fast forwarded.
Yes, sir.
There are certain cases that God is waiting for his sacrifice. There are certain conditions that is waiting for sacrifices.
Yes, sir.
There are certain cases that is waiting for sacrifices.
I hear.
The enemies that is attacking you, they are attacking you based on their sacrifices.
Sure.
What sacrifice did you have? What sacrifices did you apply? How many people do you know that is attacking you from different altars? Jesus. On your own altar, how many sacrifices have you ever placed there? I have people that are too busy for their business, But when they have problem, they blame pastor. No vex. Programs of deliverance and blessings will be laid in the church. You won't have time to come for it. But when you have problems and challenges, you blame church, you blame pastors. You are wicked. You point accusing fingers. But you never had time to blame yourself. Your own irregularities, your own irresponsibilities. You have nothing to blame yourself about. But you blame God, you blame church, you blame pastors. Stop that. One thing is that nobody dares God and go free. One thing is that nobody points against God and go free.
Yes,
Hear this, sir. Hear this, man. I used to teach people, don't speak against church, don't speak against pastors.
Yes, sir.
You are digging a grave.
Yes,
You are locking your doors.
Uh-huh.
I can never stand here to speak against any man. If the thing where you do pain me much, I will call you and correct you personally. Where have you laid your sacrifice? Abraham pleaded with them. Wait. If not for today, person get house problem. You want to help the person. And you say, make you consult your wife. Your wife will first of all be an agent of darkness against that progress. First. If not like today, now Abraham go consult Sarah. Say, I want to kill Isaac. Sarah will block Abraham and say, kill me first. Make I see grave first before this boy. Hear this, sir.
I hear.
Without sacrifices, our worship is not fulfilled.
Yes, sir.
Without sacrifices, our prayer. Daniel, a great man, a prophet of God, prayed for 21 days and his prayers was answered. Do you know what stopped it? No sacrifice. No verse. You cannot pray prayers on empty-handed and expect open heaven. No. Should I repeat? You cannot pray prayers with an empty-handed and expect an open heaven.
I hear, sir.
Abraham made a sacrifice and said to them, sit, I have something wonderful. He went in. They did not plan to cook food that day. They did not plan to kill cow that day. But they killed it because something that needed the cow is available. You have motor. You cannot give it to God. I do not mean sowing it to God, but even if it is pleased in your heart to sow it to God, it is for blessings.
Yes, sir.
A taxi driver went to a church and the church is holding a crusade. The taxi driver said, this is the key of this my car. Anywhere they want to go, all through the period of this crusade, use it and go. They asked him, what about your work? He said, forget about my work. Shebi I go follow go the crusade. He went out for the crusade. No being driving motor. Another person, the driver, he does not mind whether if they tikasiala the motor. He does not, he said if the motor go die, make it die. Do you know, after that crusade, he left the motor in the church and said, keep using the motor. Let me keep managing with my friend. He managed with his friend 6 months. And God gave him an opportunity to have a bigger truck. He drove that bigger truck for 1 year and 2 months, and he had his own truck. He still left that car in the church. He said, let that car stand as a sacrifice, liberating and opening ways. Today, in this Lagos state at Ido Park, the man is the richest trailer owner in Ido Park. I do not tell you what another person told me. I tell you of somebody I know. He left his car in the church for service.